And DHA is critical for brain formation, development of the human cortex during infancy. So I think it really makes a very strong case that human beings evolved to require animal fat in their diets. People who eat a plant-based diet are more likely to have B12 deficiency, their iron stores may be lower, and they're more likely to have omega-3 deficits, DHA and EPA, DHA in particular, which is very rich in the brain. They're more likely to have lower DHA levels, and they're more likely to have lower zinc levels. So when you look at these brain healthy nutrients, these nutrients that the brain requires in order to function properly, you'll see that if you eat a plant-based, and by plant-based I mean vegan diet, the vegetarian diet is a little bit better because it includes some animal foods like eggs and dairy. But if you eat a vegan diet, you're more likely to be deficient in some of these key brain nutrients. And we know that those deficiencies can lead to serious brain health problems. B12 deficiency is extremely dangerous for the brain, and iron deficiency is as well. Omega-3 deficiency is as well, particularly during the most critical years of brain development, which are from the third trimester of pregnancy to age 2. So let's say, for example, that you're not getting enough of those nutrients when your brain is developing. There may be, we don't have clinical trials that it wouldn't be ethical to do this clinical trial. We don't know what some of the potentially irreversible damage may be done if you don't get enough of the nutrients when the brain is developing during that critical window of time. So again, that's a game of chance that you're playing. We don't know whether people who eat a vegan diet are at higher risk for mental health problems. We know that people who have these specific deficiencies are, but the interesting thing about the way we eat these days is that these deficiencies are not just found in people who eat a vegan diet. These deficiencies are very common. The ones that I listed are more common in people who eat a vegan diet, but people who eat a standard diet that includes animal foods, many of them are also deficient in iron. Like iron deficiency is very common. 10 to 20% of women in reproductive years are deficient in iron, and iron is really important for the brain. So we have a lot of deficiencies. And why? Even if you eat animal foods, why do you have deficiencies? Well, because I think this is, again, my hypothesis. We're eating too many foods that interfere with our ability to obtain, extract, utilize the nutrients in our food. Because if you're eating a lot of grains and a lot of beans, for example, which we're told should be the staple foods in our diet, you're eating a diet that's making it hard for you to get the minerals out of the foods you're eating. And if you're not eating enough animal foods, you're not getting enough B12. Or if you have gut damage, or if you're taking a medication, if you're taking, there are certain acid blockers that people take for ulcers, and which make it difficult to process B12 and absorb it into the bloodstream. It's not enough to make sure you're eating the right foods. It's also really important to make sure you're not eating too many of the wrong foods.
Annotated and summarized. Easy to share with loved ones. The description below the title for this video has these summary points.